Yes, guys, so PTTP back here still in Braintree in Essex. This time we found a job centre, which I know we all love, but always finding GDPR breaches and very rude security. So I got that opening hours, the address. It says no mobile phones, which is weird. Which just goes to show how good their policies are, because you can't stop somebody from having a mobile phone on them. So they've got face coverings must be worn unless exempt, which is an obvious lie. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, did you get an appointment today?
No appointment. No? I'm just having a look around, just having a look at your boards and stuff.
Okay, lovely.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I've got computers there if you can...
Our computer's there. Cool,
Yeah.
brilliant, thank you. So yeah, very lovely welcome. So there you go, Total Security Guard Services are hiring, and they've got a interview day. So if anybody's from Braintree looking for security work, yeah, you can obviously pause and read that at your leisure. So JobCentre Plus is getting greener, which is good. I've got some obviously the April signs obviously need to come down. They do have a May one up on the other one, but they also help you with careers in the army, which is interesting. The Braintree Jobs Club, which is cool. We've got information on a CV template there and a cover letter template. Got some really good information here at Braintree Job Centre. Yeah, the signage is all very neat, very clear. Oh, yeah.
Are you filming?
Yes.
Could you not film? Could you take pictures? Because otherwise you're going to catch other people's conversations.
Pardon?
You're going to catch other people's conversations in your filming.
Right, okay, so...
You can take pictures.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude, but like, for example, if I came in here taking pictures, not recording, I can still hear those conversations myself.
But you can't play them to other people.
Yeah, but I can then just make a recording outside of the conversations that were going on, and I can just repeat it back to a camera outside the building. So my point that I'm making is, obviously, if it's a private conversation, it needs to be held in a private place, because the onus is on the job centre to keep that information private. It's no different than, say, for example, I got somebody in the background of my footage. You know, it's a public area that I'm in. I could easily put the picture wherever, but I could.
Take the camera off me, please.
Well, you've approached me to talk to me, so I'm not going to now. But you know, information that I can see or hear is no different than it being recorded, because I can disseminate that information through my own word of mouth, like a conversation.
But it's hearsay then, not actual footage of that.
So hearsay is related to like evidence. So if there's nothing going wrong, and everything, like I said, if it's a private conversation and it shouldn't be recorded, it shouldn't be heard either under GDPR and data protection.
Okay, carry on recording then if that's what you would like. I will check with my manager
Yeah.
if it's permissible to record on JobCentre premises.
Well, it's not against the law. I
I'll
can tell you
check
that
if
much.
If it's permissible
Okay.
under DWP.
There's nothing on the front signage. So they said no food or drink, no smoking, all that. There's nothing about no photography in here or no filming. So
Okay.
you know.
Well, like I said, I will check.
Okay.
You
If there's
carry on.
if there's a written policy, I'll be happy to see it. Alrighty. So they've got young carers services. So they've got some jobs going in Saffron Walden. There you guys. So that one says please practice social distancing, but the signs on the doors say face mask must be worn. So yeah, obviously their signage is a bit out of date because there are no restrictions. Okay. Yeah, so I must say. Oh yeah.
You need to stop recording.
Pardon?
You can't record in here
Why not?
because the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 says there is no recording can take place inside a government building because you could potentially pick up other people's conversations.
So those conversations that has the onus of the DWP to keep private and confidential. As I was explaining to the lady that's obviously come and spoken to you, if I can hear that conversation, there's nothing stopping me from going outside and repeating that conversation back to a camera.
What you hear, what you go and repeat, I can't control that. What I can control is you recording.
Well, you can't control it 'cause you can't physically stop
So
me from recording.
Well, I can.
You can't.
Well, we'll phone the police then and they'll stop you.
Well, they can't, and they
Well,
won't.
They can.
They really can't.
No,
I've
we're gonna-
literally, all I've done is I've come in, very politely spoken to the lady who acknowledged
Yeah,
me.
I've come down.
Yeah, and
Very
yeah,
politely
you
spoken
stood
to
there,
you.
exactly, and I was very polite back. All I've done is I've gone round, I've filmed the
There you
building, I've made a very conscientious effort not to film that lady who's sitting over there. I made a very conscientious effort not to film other people.
But what I've just
I'm
explained
getting
to
the
you
signs on the walls.
is if you overhear conversations and record them on there, then that you can't do. So we're asking you to stop recording.
Unauthorised filming in job centres. You aren't able to
Okay,
film
ma-
in job centres
have a look.
without authorisation under Health and Safety at Work Act 1974.
When applications are posted as employee under Section 2 of the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 is to provide a safe place for work. This obligation encompasses the requirement to ensure the health and safety of staff members is protected as far as possible while they are at work. DWP guidance states that filming/sound recording is prohibited in our office without permission. So DWP guidance, very, very important word, guidance. Okay, so for example, again, the onus is on DWP, right, to not have recordings. The onus isn't on me. So it's a guidance. It's not a law
So
that
we're
says I can't
asking you
record.
to record.
Yeah, you're asking me. Absolutely correct. And politely, I'm going to say no. I'm not going to stop.
Then we'll ask you, please, to leave.
When I'm ready to leave, I'll leave. That's fine. Not a problem. But yeah, I'm going to keep hold of this policy. Pardon?
I'm going to stop you from recording then like this.
How tall are you?
Well, it don't matter, does it? Just leave the building.
Oh dear. When I'm ready to leave, I'll leave. Don't worry. Have you got an SIA badge on display?
Yes.
Oh yes, you have it down there. Cool. Brilliant. Thank you. That's right. Just making sure. It's G4S.
Just leave the building, mate.
No worries, fine. Well, when you step away from me, I mean, ooh,
All right,
so
then.
close.
Come on then.
Lovely, thank you.
You're going to leave the building?
What does that say? What does that sign say on that door right there?
Way out.
Congratulations, well done.
Way you go.
When I'm ready, I will.
Well, mate, out you go.
So yeah, just a heads up as well, your signage on the door on the way in says face masks must be worn unless you're exempt. See, there's no lawful requirement for that. Your signage is a little bit out of date. Other than that, the signage here is very good. Lady that I first instructed with, very polite. You've been a bit brutish, to be honest. Like I said, you need to, if you're going to quote stuff, you need to read it carefully because it's guidance. Okay, it's not law. It's not something you can physically enforce. You can't turn my camera off. The police can't come here and turn my camera off. There's nothing they can do about it. So there's nothing you can do about it.
We can just have you removed.
By
The police.
the police can't move me.
The police will come in here and they will remove you.
No, the police will come in here and do nothing because it's civil trespass and the police have no powers over civil trespass.
Okay.
So, do you want to try again?
Okay. You've had your 2 minutes of fame now. Would you like to leave the building?
Would I like to leave the building? No, I'm okay.
Okay then. Will you leave the building?
When I'm ready.
Just leave the building, mate.
I will.
What more are you going to do?
Well, when you guys leave me alone and stop harassing me for doing a lawful activity, then I'll leave the
I'm
building.
not harassing
Look,
you.
I've got literally 1, 2, 3 more signs that I just want to get a shot of, pan up and down, information for the public, and I'll be out of here.
Why don't you just go out now?
Because I haven't got those signs yet.
What does it matter?
Because I'm making a video about the signs and what's available here at the job centre.
So why didn't you just ask permission to do that? From one of the managers
Because I
before
don't
you came
need
in?
to ask permission for something that's a lawful activity and is a protected right by the Human Rights Act. Simple as that.
Okay, I'm not going to. I don't want to.
If I need permission, then it's not a right, is it?
Okay.
Can I just ask you something really quickly?
Sure.
So basically, a lot of people come here, have really vulnerable conversations.
Sure.
And just seeing you film is going to make them feel a bit uncomfortable. Do you understand?
Okay, so what I would highlight from that is that the
Yeah.
onus is on the DWP to make those conversations private.
Okay.
So, obviously, as I was trying to explain to these two, like,
Yeah.
if they're having that vulnerable conversation, 100%, I
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
If I come here for an appointment and I sit down with one of the advisors and I'm having that conversation, somebody else comes and sits next to me to have an appointment with another advisor. I also don't want to have that conversation. As much as I don't want to pick it up on camera, I don't want it heard by other people either.
No,
So
no.
that needs to be kept private and secure.
But
the onus is on the DWP to do
some
that.
people come in with like domestic violence stuff and literally
Sure,
talk to
sure.
us first, then we bring them somewhere else, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
So it's just,
At the end of the day, like when I play this footage back and I edit it,
Yeah.
like if there's anything that sounds to me that it's like
Yeah.
that sort of nature, I wouldn't be so rude as to edit that, to
Yeah.
upload that to
like,
wherever I'm
puts
going to upload it.
people at risk. Do you understand?
Not really, no.
No.
No more at risk than it does somebody else overhearing the conversation, and that's what I was trying to explain.
Okay, yeah,
It's
no, I
no
understand
more
that,
risk
yeah.
than that, you know. And again, you were very polite when I came in,
Yeah,
and
of
you were
course,
quite
yeah.
happy to let me film around and film the signs, which is exactly what I told you I was going to do, which is exactly what I've done until
Yeah,
I got approached.
I think the thing that I'm worried about is just making other people feel comfortable that are coming here as guests. And,
Sure.
and
But again, like,
yeah.
I've used the job centre in the past,
Yeah.
and I felt uncomfortable. You know, the fact that other people can overhear my details. For
Yeah.
example, when I came in and I had to like sign in, for example, all my information was just written down on the desk. Got a thing left on the desk. Breach of GDPR. I got computer screens facing a window, which obviously they access people's personal information on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
If I can stand in that car park, I could easily zoom through that window, get all their personal information off that screen. All those computers over there, okay, those ones you kind of make the informed decision to use them. But still, you input your personal information onto them. You can see them through the window. You know, the DWP and the job centre, I'm not saying you personally, but the job
No,
centre
yeah,
as a
yeah.
whole, they do not do a good enough job of keeping our conversations and our data private and secure under GDPR and DPA. They just don't. You know, it's not the first job centre that I've been to that I've highlighted this issue about. Again, I don't mean to. I'm not in what's the word? Impositioning you in it.
No,
you know, it's a job centre and DWP thing as a whole, and I have written to the MP in charge of DWP, and I haven't got a response from them. And until I do, until they make change, it's something that I'm going to continue doing, and I'm going to continue highlighting until they get annoyed with me enough. They just go ahead and change what they do. Yeah. And that's the long and short of it.
So I just wanted to make sure you're considering people that are here
today.
today.
Of course, that's absolutely fine.
Okay.
But yeah, until they get the message, I'm going to continue what I'm doing. It's a lawful activity. But yeah, but thank you for the conversation. You've been very polite.
No worries.
She said she'd be out the office that. I've not had any contact since I'm talking to her tomorrow.
So
And then I also had
there we go, guys. That is all the signage around. As I said, you've obviously got computer screens and that over there visible from windows. Computer screens over there and in the office section over there all visible from windows. It is a huge breach of GDPR and DPA. He's there trying to cite some guidance to me by some Health and Safety Work Act, which is guidance, yet doesn't realise that they're breaching GDPR and DPA in their own building. The onus is on them to keep the conversations private, and it is highly on them to keep the information on their computers secure and private. And like I said, I did email DWP for the MP for the DWP, who decided not to reply. So this is something that I will continue to highlight until they change it themselves. Yeah, so just as a heads up, I might be back here at some point, and when I do, I fully expect none of these computer screens to be visible from windows, because again, it's a breach of GDPR and DPA. And that's not a guidance, that's an actual piece of legislation. So,
We need to set that up with the management then.
well, I mean, I spoke to that lady there, she can raise it, but you can pass that on to them, because I said when I come back, or if it might be me, it might be a colleague, when one of us comes back, fully expect it to be different. You know, it's not acceptable. It's our personal data. How would you like it if your information was on that computer screen and I went and filmed it from outside that window?
They were saying.
You know, that's not okay.
Yeah, they were saying.
Alrighty, cool. Alright, so with that, way out is this way. Don't think he actually cares what I'm saying. I think he just wants me gone. Yeah, so then this is the way out. So yeah. So just to sort of make a point, these are the computers that are used for the public, and I said you can see them through the window. And obviously, I'm not going to film the ones that are in their office space, which are through these windows. But I could easily walk past, film all of that, disseminate that online, and share everybody's personal information, or use it for any nefarious intent that I may have if I wanted to. But yeah, they're trying to quote this, which is guidance. So there we go. Yeah, with that, guys, I'm gonna head on. I'm gonna go find somewhere to sit and charge my phone up a little bit, and then I've got 2 more places I want to go and see while I'm around the area. There is the MOD police headquarters quite close by. I actually drove through the village that it's in on the way here. So I'm gonna literally just go charge my phone up, have a quick drink, and head down there. Oh, look at that. As always, guys, like, share, subscribe. Make sure to drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the DWP and their GDPR breaches. With that, guys, till the next one, It's alright.